Hello and welcome. Today I'll be showing you a Doxygen plugin for Unity, which I released on Asset Store for free. To use this Doxygen plugin, you need to install Doxygen, a LaTeX to PDF converter or LaTeX viewer, like MyTex for example. Install GhostScript. And you need to remember to open and reopen Unity if you have it open. You need to close it. So, why should you use it? It's easy to make documentation, and it's an integrated tool into Unity, so you just with a click of a button can update all the documentation from the source code. And you use Javadoc, and you can see in Doxygen tool, which using this Doxygen tool also for the documentation of its internal code. So, let's try it out. Here we see the documentation folder of Doxygen. Here we have a readme.docs, which is the doxy file you saw previously. You can see it's a HTML formatted form, so it's quite neat to use. And here we have two doxy files, one for user and one for developer. The reason why I've inserted two is because it's quite easier to have one version for the user who just want to get started and one for the developer who wants to dig in and start changing stuff. So look at the actual tool. Here we have it. And to make a documentation, you just enter the documentation folder. That's .2. And if you have documentation in that folder already, that folder will change the following here. Test 1, this is the test doc, and 1. So for example, if we go back to the original one, you see it's changed to Doxygen Norit Doxygen tool version 1.2. This is the path to the doxygen.exe, and this is normally like program files /doxygen/binary/doxygen.exe. And this is important because it uses that path to execute the Doxygen files. And the source is only used if you create a new. This is because you want to fix and tweak it if it's a user file or a developer file. So you cannot really use the source when you have produced the documentation once. Then you need to remove the developer and the doxy file if you want to use this field and recreate it. But what you should do instead is editing them. But we'll come back to that later. So let's go back and start a new folder. Here you can see doc2 is empty. We'll call this test2 Doxygen. This test, and this is version 1.0. And the Doxygen path will be saved between runs, but if you enter here, you will have to, the first time you will have to set it, but then remember it's between runs. So, and then the source, and we will set it to the Doxygen path because then recursively it will go through all the folders. Then we just press save settings. Settings saved and 2 doxy file produced. And you can see it's empty here. Refresh and you will see them. So to generate the PDF, you press generate PDFs. Now we have the documentation. Quite easy. It's all PDF, nice and easy. So, if you want to change the path, for example, the user documentation contains a lot of things there. Maybe don't want all of it. So we just drag over this README file, and we'll just want to have the README file in the user documentation. So then we edit user documentation, and here we change the source directory to doc file. But as you can see, it just becomes a dot. This is a relative path. You cannot use relative paths with this tool. You need to set them to absolute paths. So you can just take this documentation path and enter it here. This is the absolute path. And this destination directory is in a temporary folder. Therefore, it can be this. It's just a temporary middle step. So it needs to be user PDF. So I press save, and then we generate. And this is an important step, because if I open this, it will still contain everything. You need to close it, then press generate. Now, just that file, as you originally saw it in the beginning of the tutorial. So, fill everything in settings, press save settings, go to generate view edit, and press generate PDFs. And that's all you need to do after you have installed the programs, and it will give you PDFs. How to use Doxygen, which is a very powerful tool. There are a lot of good tutorials for that, and this is not the topic of this tutorial. Hope this helps, and if you have any suggestions on improvements, please leave a comment or send an email. And well, until next time, bye!